It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. She off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo touchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, this one not the off in mind. And in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. My ego don't come. My people make we shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses. My ego don't come. My ego the political. My ego don't come. This one not the off in mind. My ego don't come. Blessing. Mayegun la wa mo la mo do. Mayegun diary, number one.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mo la mo do.
Mayegun diary, number one.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará yìí.
Mayegun diary, number one.
Lórí Facebook.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, and good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, number one.
Bó bá ṣe àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun diary, number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, number one.
Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today. I do apologize for this, technical glitch that caused a bit of a late start. But I'll make it up to you. It's going to be worth it, especially for every one of you who actually stayed back. So share this broadcast, okay? Invite those that should be here, and even those that probably must be here. By the way, you should drop your offering too. Like the broadcast, share it, and then we'll get started.
Yes, Raki.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn Raki.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn Raki.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn Raki.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Just for the sake of those that probably will think that this image or the purpose for this image that you are seeing on your screen is to mock old age. Nobody can, cheat nature, okay? And when you are old and unwell, you get what I mean? There is what is called take a rest. Taking a rest means that you would never have to subject yourself to this kind of a torture, all for power. Now, that's exactly why this image is very much important. Don't think that we don't know that one can get very tired. Do you understand? Fatigue and all that stuff. But as for Kolu, Adon in Yoruba, Bati in Oyinbo, they say they know they sleep. Even one of the clowns who have become what do you call it? Who have become the ass licker, who returned from the UK to be their youth leader in Nigeria, APC. Egbekegbe, he once told us this, in case if you have forgotten.
Hey guys, so this is like 12:30 in the morning, and I'm with Daddy. Abdusalami Tinubu at home. I told you that Daddy doesn't sleep until like 4 a.m. in the morning, and this is like past 12, and he's still not even feeling sleepy at all. Daddy, thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you. But others are very much so suspicious of that guy behind him, and why this seems to be going to be a disaster in waiting. However, this picture was taken at an event called the Peace Meeting. Peace meeting among the presidential candidates in the next month election. So, Kolu was there, Sowore was there, Kwakwazo wasn't. He sent his own deputy, who happened to be a miracle pastor, by the way. You know those pastors that was be like, and everybody would just fall away. That's Kwakwanso's vice president. He was there. But the drama that happened there yesterday was not really detailed, was not reported in detail by myself until I laid my hand on this clip. And in fact, one of the things we missed out yesterday, when Sowore was like being Sowore, you get, telling them to their faces, all of you, I'm not afraid of you. Do you get that? So that was the moment they took that picture. Kolu was gone. Otilo, it wasn't there. But there are many things that happened. However, the man who is the chairman, okay, is it the chairman, Abdusalami Abubakar, the crooked crook that cooked the 1999 fake constitution that has kept Nigeria divided, underdeveloped, and one of the most corrupt, if not the most corrupt. So, Abubakar was there, Abdusalami, and that was the moment Sowore told him to his face, all this nonsense you guys are doing here, that's not how he said it too. So don't think that's how. I'm going to show you the video. All this nonsense that all of you are just doing here, let me tell you something. If Nigeria was to be a real country, you guys, I'll come for you guys. What does that mean? For all your crimes. Abdusalami Abubakar picked that and he was like, okay, hang on. You are talking about what happened over 20 years ago. He said, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I was like, well, if you become the president of Nigeria, some of us will have to run away from Nigeria forever because they are criminals. And they know. Saying it to their faces, like Sowore said in Ibadan. He said, once you are dead, you are gone. But before that time, you probably could take your chances and say what other mortals are so afraid to say when they are licking their asses, calling to them, trying to take pictures and be part of them. And that moment was when Sowore was very much Sowore-in. Sowore, who took that stage, forced the dictator that handed over to Obasanjo in 1999 to actually say, well, if somebody like you become the president of Nigeria, you would have to run away, which is true. So they will never make him or allow him to be your president. However, before I get to take you down, to take you down to Abuja and what happened, Kolu and others, there are many things I'm going to share with you tonight, okay? Just like I said, I'll make it up to you for that delay. But I've got I've got two news, one good, one bad. Which one do you think I should probably share first? The good news or the bad one? Okay, fine. What we're going to do is that let's go with the bad one first, which is really sad. Few days ago, or should I say about a week ago, the news broke that Fulani terrorists, right, they attacked a train station in Egoben in Edo State, and they kidnapped 32 people. A day or two after that, the government and the police and the rest, they said no, they were not 32, they were 20. So what happened to them? Oh, we are trying to rescue them. So few days after that, or should I say just a day after that, one member of our platform here, Idris, publicly told us that his own sister was among the victims kidnapped. You heard that on this platform, didn't you? So we all felt bad. Then, behind the scene, I was in touch. I was keeping in touch, checking. How is it? How is it going? And it was really bad. Then he broke the news just a few days ago that they have paid the ransom that they demanded from 30 million down to 5 million naira or so. But it cost them everything. In the whole family, it shook them right to their foundation. Well, we are glad that your sister is back. Let's just see to our own health and recovery. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, in Nigeria, their media was reporting that the 20 victims have been rescued by Nigeria police. That is not true. They paid ransom to free their individual family members. Now, that's not even the worst. Here is the worst. As you are listening to this video today, the same sister of Idris that was kidnapped, paid ransom, freed, she came back with a life-threatening injury, internal bleeding, due to the torture of trying to force the family to pay up in time. By the time they paid up, she was already bleeding inside. She died yesterday. She was buried yesterday. I saw the pictures. But according to Idris, the family would just love the privacy. I don't really have to share much more than that. But I saw the pictures, I saw the burial and all of that. And that is one victim of one Nigeria that I've been talking about. Now you can ask yourself, who is going to be the next person? But you know the most unfortunate thing that followed it? Their media. Guess what they are now reporting? Oh, they have discovered that some royal fathers, some local traditional rulers in Edo State, they have, listen to this quack mad people, in order to ensure that the victims ended up being blamed. Listen to this content. They said that Nigerian police have now arrested the people behind the kidnapping in Edo State. Guess who they are? They are not Fulanis. Listen to this. Oh, they are the local leaders in the area. They are those, again, they said they are those who facilitated, the people who are suspected Fulani others, but they are kidnappers. Let me rephrase. The people who are behind the kidnapping of people in Edo State, according to their media, they are not Fulanis. First line. Second paragraph, the people behind this kidnapping are local people in Edo who allowed those who are suspected Fulani had suspected, or they didn't even put Fulani, they said suspected as men. How did they do it? They said the local leaders, they paid the youth of that community 20,000 naira in order to look away for the suspected herdsmen to gain access to their area in order to be kidnapping people. That's what their media said. But you know what they have done? Deviate from the real people who committed the crime. Idris, who witnessed the whole thing in their family, confirmed the people who they spoke with, the people who collected ransom from them. But the media in Nigeria, on social media, everywhere, they are twisting it now. They are turning it. So, I'm sorry, that's the first bad news. And if you won't mind, this may sound like forever. Are you with me? I won't mind us just keeping just a minute silent. That this actually now hit home. It happened to one of us. So who is next? Just a minute. May our soul rest in peace, and then may the perpetrators meet their Waterloo, which would then serve as justice, right? And may the family be able to, actually live or recover from this kind of a trauma. If it's not you, you can't understand. However, Idris, our condolences to your family from here in the Temple of Truth. Now, the good news is that our back to school project is indeed now fully on track. Our target of printing out 50,000 copies of school exercise books for the school-aged children in Yoruba land, where we intend to target 6,000 of them across Yoruba land as our own way of contributing so little. It's very, very much, out of sincerity, as you can see. So we would be going ahead with that. But yesterday, I got one very good boost from one member of our education team. The people who are actually, behind this, discussing the, the pattern, the design, and then everything behind this whole project. One of them, a very, very wonderful woman, Alaja Idera. She came through for us, even though I told you that we were still very much in a bit short, even though, we are running out of time. But she came through by, donating ₦1 million towards this project. So as we speak today, we have been able to mobilize the printers, right? We are going to print all of this. And then we expect them to be ready before the end of this coming week. Now, that's the plan. And then afterward, we are going to set, ball rolling. And you will have to witness what we plan to do, what we have been talking about all this while. We are still very much grateful to everybody who has been chipping in every penny, appreciated. From the bank, I personally have received £125, right, from 2 people as well, which is also in the bank. And we've also received, I received, I think about £90 or so from a donor from the US. So thank you. All this eventually are getting us closer and closer and closer to what we want to do. Also, I did tell you, right? The 2 members of our own, one of them, which is in charge of our diaspora, logistics and then procurement, Yomi Totu. So Yomi Totu and another prominent member of our own planning team behind the scene, I will just call him Olowo. These two, nationalists, these two prominent guys, they came together, right? And they have also donated 15, 15 projectors, including projector screens, which actually each of them is worth 100,000 naira. These are going to be delivered to our team in Nigeria in these coming days. So all of these are the signs of the positivity of coming together, the idea of coming together and build something that can actually stand the test of time. I am very proud of us. Sincerely, I am. And so today we paid out, like I said, mobilizing the printers. So we have paid out 6 million naira already. So hoping to balance them up in another few days if they deliver to us right on time. So we have no problem with money anymore. Okay. So we are still kind of left with a little bit of a shortfall, but that's not a problem of money. We can always make that up before the day of, living. So yeah, that's good news. I think I should say before I get so deeper into this conversation tonight. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. However, I think we should just go to Abuja, where this happened, and it's been the talk of the social media everywhere since yesterday. Omoyele Sowore, right, was one of those invited, like I said, and he did have to make a statement. So, but I think we should first hear from the organizers, Abdusalami Abubakar. Maybe you should listen to this.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. It happened at the ICC, sir. The vice president of the APC sat in front of me because their presidential candidates would not come. It's not acceptable.
All right. I have heard you. For the purpose of this meeting, we have taken note of your observation. However, I will still beg you, let's go on with the meeting. I have taken note of your observation, and I'm going to see what can be done in the next meeting. If, however, you are not satisfied, if you want to leave, please, you can leave. I have noted your observation.
Now, talking about that observation, before that long speech, what was Sowore's observation that caused the real cause, right? This is it.
My name is Omoyele Sowore. I'm the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress. And I'm going to be the president of Nigeria come after February 2023. So you all better be careful. I want to say here, and it's very important to me, that I observed one of the most peaceful elections in Nigeria in 1993. And we allowed that election to stand. We will not be signing a peace agreement today. Because that you are signing a peace agreement in Nigeria shows that elections have become war in Nigeria. This is the only country in the world where you sign a peace agreement during an election season, as if we are at war. But that is what our elders did to Nigeria. And I think next time we should sign a peace agreement with the elders who are instigating violence in this country, or have them sign peace agreements between themselves. Because peace is not breached by poor people. Poor people suffer the consequences of violence. When you look at elections, the people that suffer the most are those poor women and men. And when there's a breakdown in law and order in Nigeria, every rich man, politically connected, gets enough police protection, and they're able to get on the jet and leave Nigeria at the slightest provocation. This is where we are. And I should also say that some of the people that instigate us of violence during the election are not in this hall. They are the vassal representatives of some of the men and women in this hall. There are state governors, in particular, you need to get them to sign the peace accord. There are some of them as the most violent people in Nigeria. They demonstrated it in Kogi State. A woman was burnt alive in her house. Until today, the killers of those women, or that woman, have not been fished out in Nigeria. In Kano, there is someone campaigning that if they don't win the election, they will kill everybody in Kano. In Borno State, it's the same thing. You go to Lagos, where the APC holds sway, you cannot paste a poster if it's not Bola Ahmed Asiwaju's poster in Lagos. I just came back from Lagos. They have a team that tears anybody's poster that is not their candidate's poster. You cannot even pay for your poster or banner to be hosted in Lagos. They have a bureaucracy in place that makes it impossible for you to do. How can there be peace in a country where there's no justice? We keep lying to ourselves all the time. I also want to say that for the rest of us, as you have treated us today, because we don't have resources and we don't have powerful connections, we don't have access to state resources. Most of the other candidates use and abuse state resources. They have governors who just dip their hands into their state treasury and use them to fund their candidate activities, and nobody is challenging them. Once in a while, when they want to tickle our fancy, the EFCC comes around to play at the playground of the political parties. Two political parties are particularly very notorious for this. They buy votes, both at their primaries and in the final election. And how do you compete with these people? If elections are supposed to be about justice and bringing about great leadership and bringing about peace and development, how could great people win elections in a country where terrible people control all the resources of your country? That's another issue for another day. The other part is the media. And I should say this because I'm a media practitioner too, that they have shut several of us out. Also, I will accuse the media of Asiwaju. They have never interviewed me in this election. That is the TVC news. They have blacklisted some of us, but they are supposed to be a public media that should address, that should attend to everybody. And the last thing I will say are security agencies. Just like someone mentioned, the security agencies have allegiance and loyalty to just a few people. That's the truth. I was almost run out of the road in Ibadan just yesterday because Atiku was in Ibadan to campaign. I was also there to campaign, but I had one car. Atiku had over 40. And I had no police. Atiku had over 500 policemen attached to him. I sent a letter to the police today to provide me police protection. I'm going to Benue tomorrow. They said I should drop the thing on Monday. How do I get police on Monday when I'm going to Benue tomorrow? I submitted to my friend who represented the IG. I will just say finally that nobody should lose hope in this hall, especially those of us who are the receiving end of the injustices in this country. One day, the table will turn. Thank you very much. I'm the presidential.
That's Sowore. That's the speech. And, oh, I'm so sorry, the camera have started, right? You know what I'm going to do? Let's just go straight to Abdusalami Abubakar's response before we continue. I'll fix it.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. It happened at the ICC, sir. The vice president of the APC sat in front of me because their presidential candidates would not come. It's not acceptable.
All right. I have heard you. For the purpose of this meeting, we have taken note of your observation. However, I will still beg you, let's go on with the meeting. I have taken note of your observation, and I'm going to see what can be done in the next meeting. If, however, you are not satisfied, if you want to leave, please, you can leave. I have noted your observation and will make amends for the next time. Thank you.
If you give us assurance that next time assurance that it will not happen at this silence, I will sit down. But if there's no assurance, I will not.
He's giving you assurance. He has given you assurance. He said they will take note in the next day.
Settle down. I have taken note of his observation, and as much as possible, we'll try to make amends. We are not being partisan in this issue, regardless of the mistakes that has been made. It is not intentional that we are promoting any candidate or any political party. We have taken note, and I have taken responsibility of what has happened, and I want to assure you we'll look into the issues. Having said that, Your Excellencies, I welcome you to this brief interactive session with the presidential aspirants, civil society, INEC, and the media. The purpose of this initiative by the Peace Committee is to build up the confidence of our people in the electoral process and to ensure that we do all that is possible to ensure that these very crucial elections are successful. Our intention is to hear from the presidential aspirants themselves and see how we can rally all our people to ensure that all citizens are able to elect the leaders of their choice. It is impossible to have all contestants into one room, and so we hope that whatever we discuss here affects all contestants in these elections. Your Excellencies, you may recall that on the 29th of September 2022, that is last year, we invited all of you for the signing of the Peace Accord at the International Conference Center, Abuja. You may also recall that we placed advertisements in all major newspapers and the social media calling all presidential candidates to be mindful of the concerns of Nigerians on such issues as the need to use temperate language, avoiding raising the tone of violence, and to conduct themselves in a manner that does not undermine the electoral process. Let me thank all of you for attending that meeting and signing the Memoranda of Understanding. We have deliberately widened the scope of this consultation so that we can improve the quality of our listening to the concerns of our people. We are not here to listen to accusations and counter-accusations. We are not here to trade blames, but to raise issues and concerns so that we can explore the best means of resolving these concerns. I appeal to all of you to be moderate in your language, show respect to the views and concerns of one another, and listen to the concerns expressed. We are not here to find out who is wrong, but what is wrong, and to see how to correct it. I want to appeal to all Nigerians to appreciate the seriousness and the significance of these elections. We have gone through many difficulties and survived them. We are pleased that there are measurable improvements and that INEC is assuring us that it has resolved some of the areas that have often caused violence. Also, the security agencies have also continued to give us assurances. Our hope is that you can raise your areas of concerns and let us see what can be done to instill confidence in this process. Finally, we appreciate the work of all the agencies involved in our elections. I want to commend the media, the civil society, for
and the blah, and the blah, 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 blue. So, talking about Bala, blue, Bala, Kolu. It was in Jigawa today. And the news that came in was then was that the Labour Party members have decamped to APC, Egbekegbe. I'm coming back to that. There is, where is that again? Yeah. I was telling you something about the APC. Sorry, Kwakwanso's running mate or vice president, a pastor. This is him. Where, he met with Kolu at the peace meeting. So you see that old man is the man who wrote the fake 1999 constitution that protects criminals and punishes anyone who tried to stand up against them or what have you. So Sowore saw that chance and he was able to tell them everything, all articulately, yeah? Now, they don't give a damn about anybody. It's just a sort of a mock process. But there's something that was said. You are signing peace deal where you are not at war. You want to do election, but you have to sign peace deal. Peace for what? It is just a show off, a charade. Absolute insignificant, right? Anyway, I'm going to take you to Jigawa. But before I do, that man is talking about election confidence. One of the things that gives, especially the obedient, what is giving them that confidence, that courage, that belief that if they keep going and going, they could actually do the unthinkable. They could do the undoable. They could make history. They are relying on a machine called BVAS. Now, you see this machine, according to INEC, they have procured them. This machine doesn't need internet. It doesn't need electricity. It is charged, all right? And it can collate the votes, the election votes, tally the results, and transfer it into the INEC main server, which means the result can be altered, except if it is altered by the INEC National. Something that gives them a confidence that all of these KKK votes, the 3 Kardashian votes from the northern Nigeria, they are obedient. They will submerge it, right? But here is something. Just before the end of last year, right? What do you call it? Your election voters register in Nigeria says you have about 93 million of you registered, Abi. However, in Imo State alone, they discovered fake voters that they planted or sort of injected into that same 93 million, total voters in Nigeria. INEC was supposed to use their machine to sieve out fake registration, Abi, because you need to thumbprint biometrically. One person can register twice, but that's a lie. Now, somebody discovered that they have killed that person's uncle, burned his country home for taking them up on that fraud. And that guy said, that's just Imo State. He discovered that same fraud in more than 23 states, most of them APC, Egbekegbe's control states. So INEC said, when you register, they will publish their names, okay? If you don't see your name, you can go and correct it. If they spell your name wrong, you can go and correct and all of that stuff, right? And at the same time, if there are people who register there, 2 times, multiple registration, their own system, software is going to weed them out and clean it out. That's the first, process of, what do you call it? Fraud that is going to fraud your next month election if they hold it to. So when they did all of that, all those underage voters, multiple registration, fake registration, all of them, they still remain in that register. Injected by the crooked criminal politicians in Nigeria, across Nigeria. That's the first fraud, Abi. Now, in order to make sure that nothing happened to all those things that they have injected successfully, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions across Nigeria, fake names, fake registration. Somehow, the obedient that suddenly surge and interested in the election, right? They themselves, they have been verified to have more than 26 million vote that are like valid voters that are readily for grab only by them. No joke. Right? Now, here is the problem. After INEC published all of this, Imo State government, Oples Uzodingba, that is the Supreme Court governor of Imo State, he went to court. I don't know if many of you probably know that last year. And what did he go to court for? They said all those multiple registration that INEC, even they still went on to print their cards, fake cards, right? They said the beavers is going to detect them. That's what they are saying. Say it will detect them and they will become invalid on you. They will not be useful. So because of this, Imo State Supreme Court governor went to court to stop INEC from using that beavers in your election. Somehow, that has been dragging on. But why that is dragging on, Nigeria Senate, the Nigerian senators, they are deliberating on one thing. Guess what that is? Your beavers in the next month election, right? They are voting on it to stop INEC from using it. So that the Boloji, that APC, Egbekegbe, people destroying people and the rest of them are banking on, they will eventually come to be, and INEC will count them, even though they are telling you that they won't. Now, look at this screen. If you see anybody that is somebody you know from your zone, before they will say, Northern Nigeria is against it. Now, let me give you the background. The court case to stop INEC from using that machine, right? They were saying, initially they said, not everywhere in Nigeria have internet coverage. They said, okay, if that's your worry, it doesn't need any internet. How can it transfer something when it doesn't have internet? Don't worry about that. It doesn't need internet. What about electricity to charge it? What if it dies? No, it doesn't need electricity to charge. It comes with its own battery that would last for more than 48 hours. No, we can't use it. No. Let's just cancel it. Now, they are debating it in your National Assembly, your senators. Like I said, see this screen. Those who have now voted against the use of it. See this? And you can see that they said the handiwork of how to stop this is not coming from it's coming from no other people than Tifnumbu and gang. They initiated the court case, and then, right, they also mobilizing their members in the National Assembly to make sure that at the end of the day, it won't be used. I'm just saying this to some of you who are actually banking on a system that is so fraught with fraud. Now, those are the people who vote. There are 109 senators in Nigeria. Senate president minus Senate president will be 108. Now, these are the people that will not want your INEC to use your BVAS machine. I'm talking about the drama in the political front. Wala don't happen. After the Atiku store of Southwest Nigeria, you know that before now, you have been hearing about the G5, where a wiki and his team here and there, saying that Atiku, they go anywhere. And they are going to announce their candidate in January. January is almost gone now. where Wike and his G5, they are no longer reigning. Sure, you get now. They are no longer like the talk of the town anymore, because it's like the shine is completely going off them now. That if they come up tomorrow and say we are endorsing this person, that's the person we want to vote for, it won't really be so kind of, you know what I mean, like something so strong anymore. But they showed Atiku. Atiku went to Ekiti. When he got to Ekiti, the likes of Fayose, who are like supposed to be members of his campaign, PCC, Presidential Campaign Council. About the Joju Atiku, for those who understand Yoruba, then chop Atiku high. But still, so far the money was paid. They still did some mobilization, but Atiku knew then that it was just there for just a show. Otilo again. He got to Abeokuta. Baba, they won't lynch Atiku and his people. Sure, you get that's the one that Omoyele Sowore mentioned earlier. They won't lynch him. Stone them, pure water them, drag them everywhere, you know, that they had to shoot their way out of Abeokuta. And when they got to Ibadan, where Seyi Makinde happened to be one of the G5 as well, it was the same cold reception from the people that are supposed to really, you know, but the members of PDP, they are like, no, if you pay us, we'll do the job, we'll mobilize our people. We are not part of G5. And that has been the problem in the entire Southwest, But you know what happened there? Atiku can actually see that things are not actually as expected anymore. Sure, you get. There seems to be no way anymore when it comes to, especially when it comes to those people from the Southwest. Somehow, the people from the southern Nigeria, he can tell they are lying to him. So from nowhere, they just announced they sack everybody. We did Ekiti, we did everywhere. You see, suspend them. Starting from Shimaroke Nnamani, they said anti-party. Anti-party. You know what anti-party means, right? When people begin to support other people, another candidate, different from their own party. And they are doing so publicly, without any remorse or shame. Share you get. Because it is about interest, they say. Yeah? No permanent friend, no permanent enemy. Only permanent interest. But Baba, in your life, have you ever asked them whose interest are they talking about? Is it their own interest or your own interest? So publicly, Nnamani, the former governor of Enugu, a thief that stole over 100 billion naira from Enugu State, a complete criminal that has managed, right, after looting and depleting Enugu State for 8 solid years, with his able poverty, empowerment scheme, scam. He ended up in the National Assembly and he's been a senator since then. A criminal that is also wanted in America, by the way. That's something I don't know if you know. But suddenly he found his friend, his colleague, Tifnumbu, very much interesting than Atiku. And he publicly started talking about how Tifnumbu is good, Tifnumbu is this or more, to the point that it became so much of a joke, right? Now, Atiku, after returning back to Abuja, before going back to where he came from, Dubai, he decided that all these people have to be suspended for anti-party activities. But that's actually not the news, okay? These people, Nnamani, Shimaroke, Nnamani, who else again? Ekiti State, Ayeni Funsho, Ajibola Latif, Oladimeji, others are Miola Adenike, Jennifer, Ajayi Babatunde Samuel, Olayinka James Olalere, Akerele Oluyinka, Fayose, Oluwajomiloju, John. I think that one is Fayoshe's brother that is supporting Obi. And they are like, you know what I mean? So now this is Atifu's firing back. And you know what people are saying? There's no matter, Jare. Atiku himself don't shot say, Omobagbe Southwest, Jare. You remember the time they were saying that Peter Obi is coming to come and divide Atifu's votes. Then the story changed. That even if he's going to actually, he will never get up to 100,000 votes. Then the story changed again, right? They said even if he's going to like challenge Ashiwa, they said this election is between Ashiwaju Awole and Obi. Narratives have changed many times. You know, I'm somebody who followed the whole thing anyway, so I keep track. As things are changing, the people are reacting to them. Until today, people are now saying that it be like Atiku no even day. Like everywhere they see Atiku, they just feel like, well, it's got some money to spend. So, and that's Atiku's reaction to his visit to southern Nigeria. And immediately after that, he announced, he said, I have concluded all my campaign in southwest Nigeria. When Tinubu is launching his campaign, almost every day. Tomorrow now or next day, you're going to see another, we are launching Tinubu's presidential campaign in Lagos. Who are those? Oh, the Agberos from Obalende. They are the ones who are doing their own now. Because they need that validation every now and then. Here you get, Atiku has closed that side. And, you know, I don't know how many of them who actually got this, okay? There is another one. Where is that? Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that one. Let's go straight to Jigawa, okay? Jigawa is where Kolu got hosted today. After Jigawa, I wouldn't mind taking you to Mina, where Atiku and others, they actually felt at home. I'll take you there too. Tell you one or two things, okay? Then I'm also going to take you to Southern Kaduna. Now, listen to this. Southern Kaduna, for the first time, is in the news, not because of a Fulani massacre or Fulani genocide or the killings of innocent people there. For the first time, it is because the obedient in Southern Kaduna, they got their own, they got their own day with Obi after his campaign in Kaduna few days ago. Now, for the first time, according to those who are there, you know me, I'm not from Kafanchan. Kafanchan in Southern Kaduna is where they all agree to meet. Baba, if they are still telling you that Obi is nothing, they are lying to you, and I'm here to tell you. And I'll show you. Sure you get. And tonight, I'm also going to tell you a bit, or give you a bit of a reminder. Who made this Obi popular now? We know about the youth, the young people, smart, and all of them who are really very much hungry with the system. We know about those ones. We know about Obasanjo, just a back end, you know, behind the scene, workaholic, building all this or that for Obi. We know all about that. Yeah? But I figured out that the people that actually made Obi a force today are no other people than PDP and APC. They are candidates, they are vuvuzelas, they are all-risers. Because every day, the moment they said Obi said he wants to be president like this, where he came from became an issue. Yes, he's an Igbo man from Eastern Nigeria. How dare he? How many are they? So every day, they continue to what? To try to tell us and tell everybody that this is absolute joke. Now, to make it worse, this is true too. We're expecting that, they don't declare, make them bring the dirty out. We knew that they will bring all the dirty about Atiku out, the dirty about Tinubu. We knew that they want to be president. Maybe for the first time, this guy, where they talk, say, go and verify, okay, she can don't go to an open field now. Let's see how he's going to then be able to hide. Baba, what we started getting are just vile, hateful, fake news, divisive things against Obi, to the point that some of them became so blinded with this hate, that they can't see their own brothers around them that are already shouting this Obi as well. They can't see them, and they started saying that Obi and obedient, they are just Igbos from one part of the country. So 8 months after that, 8 months ago, Obi left people destroying people, a big one. And people said, that's it. This is now a joke, taken too far. It's done for, it's over. Here you get. Then he joined Labour Party. Dele Momodu came out and said, this is absolute joke. So I don't know if some of you remember that. He said, this is absolute joke. That he was the presidential candidate of Labour Party. And he can tell the whole world the problems that Obi is going to face. All of this are on record though. But Baba, right before your eyes, my eyes, and all of us here, without pretending, they told us that the whole thing will die down before the end of December. Because nobody will touch him in northern Nigeria. Today, Baba, story to change you. I don't mean you don't need to change your mind. Okay? But me, I am here to show you how this is going to go. Even the establishment, they are worried. Let me give you one instance before I go to Jigawa, where Labour Party supposed, listen to this. Oh. It got to a stage that Kolu said, I can't even say his name. It's so insulting for me to even say the other one. I can't even say his name. From I can't even say his name, it's an insult that one is even saying you want to be president. To shouting his name, Obi, why now, Obi, you cannot do it. Obi, why? To the point that everyone in Tifnumbu's camp, every day, right? They just have to remind the people that Obi is a threat to them. You don't have to admit to me, Mayegun, you are not here, Baba. I am everywhere. Now you just somehow, probably haven't really seen what is happening around you yet. Nobody will touch him in northern Nigeria. We all know all that. Meanwhile, Mayegun came here and said, because of the divided Nigeria, where people see themselves not as Nigerians, but where you come from or religion you follow, and why because on record, right? Very much on record, right? The northern Nigeria and the political class in northern Nigeria have never failed to use or play that political and tribal card every election. And it's been always working. So to them, well, who is Obi? Nobody even know anything about Obi in northern Nigeria. Baba Nalayo, thank God for social media. Here you get. Now two things will bring an end to a murderous system all over the world. Two things. First, revolution. First, election. Second, revolution. The obedient have chosen election. What have you chosen? I'm still coming back to you, by the way. But I want to take you to Jigawa, where the people they said have nothing. Suddenly, APC, Egbekegbe, they are celebrating that Labour Party candidates, governorship, House of Assembly, everybody, they have come to APC in Jigawa. Really? But we thought you said it was just to be. Nobody is running for anything. They were so happy. But let's go to Jigawa, because this is what happened in Jigawa today. Where Kolu was welcomed by joyous Jigawans. It was carnival, right? Here is another one from the same Jigawa. Mind you, I actually have a longer one, longer than that, where they drove him in a motorcade, or should I say buscade? I think it's motorcade, open motor, whatever, here. That's Jigawa, you know. But if you pay, they will gather. Remember, if you pay, they gather. And that, I told you, that is one bragging right that the obedient kind of love to brag about all the time. We know they pay anybody shishi. And immediately after that Chatham House appearance of Peter Obi, in case if you haven't noticed, it has kind of a surge its popularity. In fact, it is acceptance too. Now, you don't have to agree with me. I'm just sharing what I've seen. Areas where you think, I mean, you would say, oh, I understand why people are not showing up, because those areas, I mean, you know, they don't know him. Now, he's penetrating through the north. He's going to go to Kano. You're going to see all the videos. The only way you're going to console yourself if you are for Agbado or Mikano, Atiku or Tifnumbu, the only way you're going to console yourself around that time, my brother, is that they are just playing and joking. And I tell you this, just they play. See how happy they all feel here. There are some people who were dressed up and they said they are the gubernatorial, they are the labor, all the Labour Party structure in Jigawa. I said, Labour Party get structure for Jigawa. Wow. They were so happy. Look at them. Those ones that came out there, in those dress, what have you, yeah, they would have been like paid as well and say, come and show people that there's nothing like labor here. So the point here is this: these guys have pushed to be, they pushed to be themselves, to become what he has become now. After all those backings that they said, they were just, you know. Now listen to this one, telling them why they are now going to have to follow Ashiwaju.
From today, myself as a government candidate, my deputy in the name of Yakubu Sile, the only senatorial candidate in the state is Yakubu Hadeza, and one of the only three, the House of Reps members, Balakaji, and 20 functional Labour Party House of Assembly members were all become to APC. Were all become to APC because of the power of Nigeria. APC! We have followed the man that knows the law.
You see how I think they are actually like spending Tifnumbu's money. Because you can't just tell somebody, for those who knows politics very well, if you know politics very well, right? Now Tifnumbu be the money bag. Now him be the ezego, guru. You know, understand? Agbowoni baba oja. The one that will say Alaji. Money bag. Now Tifnumbu. And the politicians, they know it get level. Money day. Person that gave 15 people 100 million to go and buy a PC form and say they want to be president. It got to a stage that even people that are not in Nigeria, they bought forms for them 100 million. You think it's a joke? They need that spectacle. They need that show off. Even though they do, they want to show that off. Even though they don't need all of that. Jigawa na APC. Is Labour Party a threat there now that they are not telling you? Now they have to go and give them uniform to come and welcome Tifnumbu and say Labour Party. So Labour Party get people like that in Jigawa? Wow. Then they are not telling you something. I will tell you. The end result no go good. I tell you. Even Tifnumbu no go agree. If the whole thing no go according to plan, he won't believe it. He won't agree. So you get. I hope you know that. They have taken so much money from him. So much to put up all those spectacles you are seeing everywhere. So much money. Money where we say is so much. Where we say people are like, they are like, it's like eating a jackpot. Just tell people you pay them, they'll pay you. When the program is about to finish, you run away. People where you brought here, they can find their way back to where they come from. But as for Tinubu and his team, they have taken the pictures, the video, everything as a spectacle. They are fine. Because that's all, that is just like something to show that they were there. The real thing, go, is going to be the usual vote buying, where they could bring the real money. Somebody told me in Lagos, he said, Ayegu, I said, this your election for this Lagos, for them to be able to make Tinubu to actually even win ordinary Lagos, they go spend money. Oh, my friend that lives in Lagos, that lives among them, you know what he says? He said, Mayegu, they are already telling us that what each vote, they are ready to pay 50,000 naira per vote in the areas that people are going to try to make to make it difficult for them. And in this case, those areas are like springing up every day in Lagos, in that same Lagos. So, and that is why they have to keep spending money, organizing rallies that will say they are using stadium to show something, to show that even if we have to rig, look at all this crowd. Who do you think they are voting for? Have you not seen them for the past 1 year? For the past 2 years that they have been doing everything? How dare you think that Asiwaju cannot win Lagos and all of that? You know, all of this, even people in Lagos, they are now keeping sealed lip like 50,000 naira per verse is impossible. It's like you have no idea what is going on right now. It's only 50,000. That's how much they are bringing. And you know, one thing is this may actually be, if they manage to jello, all of una for Nigeria, you will never recover from this. I'll tell you why. You see, your election is going to be the most money-consuming election ever. You have been talking about buying votes, Abi. But you will see things that will make you feel like, so now it is like the criminals emptying their wallet, emptying their vault. And all of you collecting for those who are going to be lucky to get those money or unlucky. When they manage to now jello, AJ ya to jekwe, ha! I'm not wishing you evil. I'm just telling you what you are playing at, because they will empty their vault in order to retain this. It is like the old order versus the new order, and I'm just here as a spectator and a referee. Because it's going to happen. So obedient, what you are pursuing is life-wrecking ambition for those in the establishment. Now, you are going to push them to do so much that they will become desperate too. And I am seeing that. I just thought I should tell you. Immediately, they celebrated Labour Party, the campaign. I think they had to dance a little bit as well. Joyous mood. As long as everybody gets paid, there's no wahala. Until we started seeing videos later that will show that they no pay some people. Right? That's when you begin to feel, I feel sorry for these poor people. Some of them now 500 naira they will collect. You see this transactional charade. One good thing, and I want you to please, facts are different from a falsehood, though. Here you get. Facts can be changed. You get what I mean? Right? Other things can change, but facts don't. The first fact is that wherever you see the obedience, right? For those who have been following them very well, the Yorubas, the Northerners, the Easterners, and everybody, the Abrodians too, Abrodian obedient and all of them. When you pay attention to some of what they have been doing, like myself, you will realize how much crowdfunding they are doing, self-sacrifices they are making. A lot of these things you are going to see in everywhere are done by them, not by Labour Party, not by these guys. They started a TV station. They called it Obedient TV, just for their campaign. They started a radio station. They call it Obedient Radio, just for their campaign. And they are their own advertisers. They are not hiring people to help them advertise Obi or anything. Now, all of these are like a free resources that Obi and Labour Party don't have to pay for. Then, when you see them, they troop out anywhere. Nobody is coming out because they say, oh yeah, Obi is coming. Oh, maybe I will see 500. Maybe I will see 1,000 naira. Do you also know that within that issue of mobilizing themselves, there are some of them that actually like put money together like this, and give to those they believe actually need support. Just to, if that will convince them to follow Obi. I have seen a lot. I have record of a lot of things these guys are doing. They are, some of them, they are there going to the market to buy buckets, put Obi picture, put Labour Party on it, started sharing in their communities. These are not like the traditional way of doing things. Like you will see politicians going about everywhere, buying bole, or plating the hair of people, of women, like Ubima Judas Iscariot, Amochi, and then and the rest of them that would have been eating agbado, eating bole, doing the other. Now, disobedience changed all of that. Have you not noticed? That's a fact, even if you probably don't see it as anything. The only thing that they haven't changed, right, is to completely ridicule the vote buying. That will never be found out until the day of your election. But what haven't they done? On social media, they've taken over everywhere. On the street, they've taken over everywhere. And this is also a fact. Now, their number are unknown. They are called silent majority. But you know where they are coming from. You know the background of where they are coming from. All of these are facts. Right? Now, anything you make up after that, like, he's not going to win. They are not going to let them be this. He's not going to do anything. Those are the future present tense. Although you have a right to it, to join your what have you. I just thought I should mention that just before I continue. Southern Kaduna have always been in the news for only bad news or bad reasons. You know that. Southern Kaduna. But something happened today. And the reason why this is kind of, something I'm going to touch is that the person that destroyed Kaduna State and divided Kaduna State, El Rufaya of Kaduna, I'll tell you a story. In 2015, after the APC scam, change scam, the stage was set for all that you are witnessing today in Nigeria. APC, Egbekegbe, they never believe that an incumbent president in Nigeria could be defeated. And it will actually like concede defeat. No fight, no nothing. So they were prepared for the worst. The first thing they did for 3 years under Goodluck Sultan was that they were able to infiltrate his government. Every individual, including his own vice president, every individual that joined or got appointed or what have you under Goodluck Sultan, minister, personal assistant, what have you, name it, that represent the northern Nigeria, 80% of them got converted, turned to work against the Goodluck Sultan and bring that government down. for the sake of Bokwari. It was premeditated all along. You see those 20% of them that didn't budge. Those are the first scapegoats that APC Egbekegbe went after when they came to power. They didn't believe it's going to happen. What did they do? They went on to the rest of African countries, and they were inviting terrorists down to Nigeria border. And they were telling them that the current government of Nigeria is an infidel government that should never have existed. If you should stay beyond May 29, there will be war in Nigeria. Did you know that? Well, the Fulani terrorists that have now become celebrities in Nigeria gave an interview, and they confirmed that they promised them everything. They told them, they got them guns. They said Nigeria politics gave them the guns. And they told them that once APC comes to power, they are going to give them land. They're going to build them schools. They're going to build them stores, markets, and they're going to build them ranches. But APC came to power and they abandoned them. That's why they're committing kidnapping all over Nigeria. Because government has abandoned them. They invited them, they abandoned them. El Rufai confessed on the national television, on Channels television, that people are saying that he did that, he did that. And this was the time, this was immediately he came in. Southern Kaduna went on fire right away. The people that used to be able to defend themselves, people that used to be able to fend off these terrorists, El Rufai, they didn't just bring them on, they empowered them. He said, we told them, if you have lost a cow, we'll pay you. Come back now. Your brother is now in charge of Nigeria. El Rufai said that. And since that day, May 29, 2015, the people of Southern Kaduna have never known peace. And they have never seen development. In fact, when you go to Kaduna, you will see Kaduna Central and Northern Kaduna. That's exactly where government exists in Kaduna State. The rest, they are just existing for the existence sake. And this is also a fact. Southern Kaduna, 40 people killed. Southern Kaduna, 300 people killed. Southern Kaduna, 7 villages ransacked. Southern Kaduna. Meanwhile, Nigeria, that same Southern Kaduna is playing host to more than 8 security institutions in Nigeria. See, I'm talking about the headquarters of security institutions, from police to military to Air Force to DSS to name it. But the people of Southern Kaduna continue to bury their loved ones. It became a religious genocide. This same El Rufai, when the terrorists, when they ransack villages in Southern Kaduna and people run away to IDP camps, this same El Rufai is now reallocating those villages to Fulani terrorists, and they are renaming those places and they are gazetting them. El Rufai said the reason why the Southern Kaduna problem can never settle is because the Christians in Southern Kaduna, they don't want Muslims. They don't want any Muslims. That's why he's telling people. And that's why there's no peace in Southern Kaduna. But that's not true. You know the truth. So surprisingly, we are not talking about the killings in Southern Kaduna tonight. We are talking about the obedience, who turned what has become a sort of a nightmare that they can't just wait for it to end, and thinking that the same APC, Egbekegbe, that did them so bad in Kaduna, that El Rufai believed that Christians are infidels, they are roaches, they are nothing. That he said it public, and he said, listen, you guys are nothing. You are Christians, you have absolute nothing. And if I have to prove that to you, right? Okay, I'm going to choose a Muslim deputy. Then go and do your worst. Maybe you think you matter. I'm telling you that you don't matter until we say you do. This is Northern Nigeria. This is Sharia Nigeria. Don't come here and start saying that you are Christians and we have equal. You know what I mean? This is true. He chose a deputy, and she was a Muslim. He rigged himself back. And then he sold the idea to Tifnumbu. We have suffered so much in the hand of terrorists who are hiding behind their religion to kill innocent people just to claim supremacy. We have suffered so much under these criminals. Then out of their own insensitivities, Tifnumbu, a Muslim, chose another Muslim, a terrorist sympathizer, somebody that Dinomela called Osama bin Laden. That's APC for you. They don't give a damn. They will tell you it's not the issue, it's not the problem. El-Rufai sold that idea. The people of Southern Kaduna are living witnesses to what Muslim mean when the criminals who are proposing it, they don't mean anything about religion, but subjugation and control. That's what they are doing. Now we are not talking about the killings in Southern Kaduna. We are talking about the Muslims, Christians, the young, the old, the victims of the 8 years of APC murderous regime. They came out because they see hope in something real. And I was obedient there today. And I'm going to take you there, okay? There are some instances. Then I'll take you to whatever I told them, Obi. I think this is one of them. No, I'm going this should be... That was Kafanchan in Southern Kaduna. And I think I've got another one. And this particular one is actually dramatical. And this also happened.
No push him. No push him now. Just wait. Give me your number. Give me your number. Put your number here. Then tell me. Wait, that's not your number. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is it correct? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. Carry this baby and go and stay on one side before they injure her. Okay? Thank you. Come out and vote. Come out and vote. They go rally. No, wait. He's there. Wait. He's helping. Wait.
Wala. But I think if you have been in their shoes for the past 7 years, I think you are going to understand scenes like this. Sure. You're going to understand. However, he eventually went into a hall where he had a sort of an interaction with them. And in that same hall, to prove El-Rufai wrong, the Muslims and the Christians, they sat together in a church. And that was where they had their town hall meeting with Obi. That's the part I'm going to share with you. No more, no less, okay? So let's go back to, what do you call it? Where is that again? Yeah. Let's go back to Kafanchan in Southern Kaduna. What did he tell them? This.
It's a globally accepted measure of development. While both of you talk now, you mentioned all of them. And what is the global measure of development? The most important measure of development is Human Development Index. These three things border, these have three things you can use to measure it. HDI is measured by health, dancing, education, and pulling people out of poverty. So that's all you. Nigeria has said in three of them. Number one, a life expectancy which is health. While the global average is about 73 years, Nigerian life expectancy is about 55. So we're almost 20 years below the average. So we failed. Number two is education. We are 168 over 173 human capital development. So we have failed. And number three is per capita, which is pulling people out of poverty. Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. Nigeria has 133 million people living in multidimensional poverty. But to tell you why and how it is, we have more people living in poverty than India. India is 1.4 billion people, and we are 200 million. They even tell you how worse it is. We have more people living in poverty than India and China combined. These two countries combined is 2.8 billion people, and we are 200, or more people living in poverty in both of them. Even the anarchy and the problems we have the highest. And when we talk about this poverty, it's more in the north. And it's more in the north. In health, which you're talking, we've just surpassed India in infant mortality, and it's worse in the north. We have global average 5.8%. 5.8%. We have a crisis. And that's what we need to deal with. And that crisis is not a crisis where anybody will say people in Southern Kaduna are worse off. Everywhere is a crisis. No place is safe in Nigeria. Nobody is safe anywhere in Nigeria. Not the bishop, not the pastor, not the imam, no longer not the traditional rulers. Everybody is unsafe. Because anarchy consumes everybody. And that's what we're trying to solve. So for me, when you talked about it should not be about tribe. No tribe buys bread cheaper in Nigeria. Everybody is hungry. No religion buys bread cheaper. If the chief imam mosque today and start selling food cheaper, I assure you, people will go from your church and buy the bread and the food and come back to their church. So, if there's a road anybody stand and said it will pass by only Christians, Muslims will pass there. If there's a job there where you're giving people a job, only for Muslims, Christians will come and take it and go back and start their worship. So we have a crisis. Why is this crisis? There's nothing wrong in Nigeria. It is cumulative effect on leadership failure over the years. You have leaders who have refused. I'm not saying some of them have not done well, but
I'm very sorry for the quality of that video is very poor. I didn't know it was going to be that poor. Okay. However, yeah, it was there, and he left his real mark, and that takes me back a little bit to that suspension of PDP people by Atiku for anti-party or so, yeah? Somebody sent me this video, and it's from Enugu, I heard. And the person speaking is a senator of PDP. However, well, in their meeting, he said this.
Talking about P2B is my personal friend. He comes to my house. Nobody should indict anything against P2B. We all love P2B. We want him to be president. Everybody should stop on his own plane. If you want to go and represent P2B, talk on your own. P2B have already told us. Answer your own name. What you are going to do for Soka. Don't make reference to P2B. P2B is our brother, is our friend.
Because people are now, you won't believe this, so I don't know if you have seen it, oh. People who are in PDP, instead of, when they print their posters in Eastern Nigeria, some of them, they will put Peter Obi, and they will put themselves. Instead of Atiku, they will put Peter Obi. Now, this is just poster, right? Now, in their meeting, go, inside PDP meeting, they are talking about the same Peter Obi and what side. So, someone is now trying to use that same Peter Obi as a leverage over somebody that is, complaining. That's how much it has become. I just thought you should know. Let's go to Mina, where Atiku and the rest of his crew were also there to speak to the, what do you call the Mina? Mina Nights. I don't know. Let's go to Mina, by the way.
Security always like Wala. Ina Allah karbe shi. Kuma kun yi ya damuwa ne.
Oh dear. Did you see Jolly Yame, the Taraba thief? I think Jolly Yame, then jail Jolly Yame have been and the other one in jail. I don't know. But this is a bunch of thieves. Seriously. However, when they left the airport, and as usual, they put up their own spectacle right there in Mina. You pay, we gather. You pay, we gather. This one pay, we gather. That one pay, we gather. And indeed, they gathered in Mina. Sorry if this is boring. I just have to show you. It's part of the whole build, right? Take a look.
Konga an cuce ku, an sace muku kuɗi, ana ta yawo da kuɗin ku, kowane ɗan Naija yau ya yi wa APC bye-bye, kowane ɗan Naija ya wa APC bye-bye, sai wata rana APC bye-bye, APC bye-bye, APC sai da APC sai ka da ki, sai ka da ki. Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited and happy to invite a great developer, a great performer, the digital governor of Delta State, the next Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Ifeanyi Ato Okowa. You banger.
Whom God has blessed no one can cause. And Tambuwal of power and the choosing one to make Nigeria a better nation. The unifier and the goal.
Power to the people. Your Excellency, our presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, former Vice President of Nigeria, and the wife, Your Excellency, our National Chairman, Senator Dr. Yoruba, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, here present with us, Your Excellencies, our governors, our party leaders, both nationally and leaders of the party in Niger State, our great youths of Niger State and our women, we bring you greetings. Nigeria! 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 Niger farm! Niger farm! Niger farm! I truly thank all of you because what we see today, we are truly very happy, very warm welcome that you have given to us in Niger State. From what we have seen in this rally, we are convinced that we are prepared to win elections landslide in Niger State. And I congratulate you in advance. I want to thank our youths. I want to thank our women. God will bless you. In the last 8 years, the APC government has done a great damage to Nigeria. They have brought poverty to us. They have brought insecurity to us. They have divided Nigeria. And that is not what we want as a people. Today, PDP has brought a father, a man who is humble, a man who is ready to care for you, a man who is ready to love all Nigerians, a man who does not care whether you're a Muslim or a Christian, he's ready to attend to your needs. And that is Atiku Abubakar. And we are very convinced that he is able to unite Nigeria again. We are very convinced that he is able to work with all, particularly the security agencies, to ensure that we have peace once again in Nigeria. We are very convinced that he is able to make industries to grow so that the youths of this country can have jobs again. We are very convinced that he is able to ensure that our youths are able to have meaningful education, and that is what we want in this nation. We cannot continue to destroy the future of Nigeria. We cannot continue to destroy the future of our youths. Therefore, I urge all of you, both the youths, the women, and the elders, go out there and campaign from village to village. Go out there and campaign from house to house. We need to get back the Nigeria of our dream. And the only answer, and that answer is coming through.
Meshanu Gi. Say Meshanu. Shut up your mouth, Okowa. A betrayer. Do you want me to tell you a story? I'll tell you. Sometimes in 2021, when the rumor was brewing that Atiku was going to run again, even though Buhari was about to finish his tenure. So in their own mind, as PDP, people destroying people, the political party destroyed by Atiku because of his selfish ambition, which he eventually lost to Buhari. So he was coming back. The Southern governors. This is not just PDP now. PDP, APC, ABGA, all of them from southern part of Nigeria. They were called to a meeting. Do you know who called that meeting? Who conveyed that meeting? Okowa of Delta State. At that meeting, the entire southern governors who attended, therefore, in their communique, agreed that come what may, the political party that presents a Southerner will receive the support of all of them. It doesn't really matter. I mean, they agreed, especially PDP. Then fast forward to 2022. Obi said he wanted to be president. He's from the South. Others also showed interest and so on. Do you know who went behind all of them? Including, Werewike also showed interest. Remember Werewike? Do you know who went behind all of them? To go and negotiate for vice presidents with Atiku, Okowa. That's one of the reasons why Wike was so mad. Because Okowa was telling everybody that he is going to be the vice president to Atiku. And when Atiku tricked all of them and told a committee, 17 people in a committee, to go and nominate a vice president for him from southern Nigeria, 2 names popped up, Okowa and Wike. Out of the 17 members of that committee, 13 of them settled for Wike as vice nominee. Okowa told them that they can continue to waste their time. It's a done deal. So Okowa settled for this vice presidency. And since then, he has continued to empty the treasury of Delta State in order to match the campaign fund needed. And indeed, hopefully, after becoming governor for 8 years, he will just get the promotion to become a vice president and possibly the president of Nigeria. That's the ambition of all these rogues and criminals when they come together to share positions. That was the moment Obi left them, remember? And I think a lot of us here agree that it's finished. It's a joke, didn't we? But that's not the case anymore. Delta State is the 3rd richest state in Nigeria. But guess what? Delta State is now tilting towards bankruptcy. Delta State is one of the least developed states in the Niger Delta zone of Nigeria. A lot of things. Pensions are unpaid. Gratuities are unpaid. Salaries are unpaid. I'm talking about a backlog of all this money. And that guy is telling you how much Atiku is coming to change your life because he built industry. Okay, Atiku, what do you think?
We do not discriminate against anybody, and therefore we are happy to welcome that. At this stage, I'm going to perform the very important duty of handing over the flag of the party to our gubernatorial candidate, Alhaji Kantigi. This flag is the symbol of our party. It's the symbol of victory. Go around every part of Niger State and conquer for the PDP all the 5 elections, from bottom to top, from top to bottom. And by the time we come back here in June, we shall have a brand new governor and we present this flag. Thank you and God bless you all. Thank you very much. Please, can we give our national chairman another round of applause? To usher in the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I want to invite MK. Yes.
Brand new.
APC. APC. Shekara hudu za su gyara Najeriya da su takwas kuma babu promotion kai. Shekara hudu za su gyara Najeriya waziri su takwas kuma babu promotion kai. Atiku wazirin Adamawa wazirin Adamawa Baba Atiku Baba Atiku shine namu shine namu Atiku, whatever Nigeria, Atiku, whatever Nigeria, Atiku, whatever Nigeria, Atiku, American Nigeria, we are my soldier, wallahi we is hey, Ora, sing it ready, Suzasu Kwasa Kayasu, sing it ready, Suzasu Kwasa Kayasu, sing it ready, Suzasu Kwasa Kayasu, bring it ready, Suzasu Kwasa Kayasu, Ladies and gentlemen, may I have the pleasure to invite to the microphone the next President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by the grace of God, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the unifier, the amplifier, the pacifier, and the promoter of democracy in Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar. Thank you. PDP. Ban ji ku ba lokacin da ake waka kowa na ihu na tafi, kowa na rawa. Ina kiran PDP kuma ba ansawa. PDP. Nigeria. Niger. To jama'an Niger State. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Da farko muna yi muku godiya kwarai da gaske da wannan kyakkyawan taro da nuna goyon baya da aka nuna mana tun da muka shigo Niger. Allah ya saka muku da alheri. Allah ya kawo zaman lafiya a Niger. Wanda kuwa kun sani kan banda jam'iyyar PDP ba wanda zai kawo muku wannan zaman lafiya. Lokacin da PDP take mulki daga 1999 zuwa 2015 akwai rashin zaman lafiya a Niger. To muna so mu tabbatar muku idan kun sake dawo da jam'iyyar PDP a Niger, rashin zaman lafiya za mu kauda shi idan Allah ya yarda. Baya da haka mun tabbatar muku cewa
wannan tashan ruwa da PDP su suka fara ginawa na baro kafin ku zo ku ce a'a kuna son canji. Ai kun ga canjin ko? Ai kun ga canjin? Me kan canjin ya kawo muku? Rashin zaman lafiya, kunci, rashin tattalin arzikin ƙasa.
What's going on,
Before you get so annoyed because you can't even understand what he's saying, you are not from that part. I understand, so I'll just keep it very sort of a minimal. All right. So that's him talking to them in Nigeria and all of that stuff. You know, Arewa, speak out now, scream out, and all of that stuff. So yeah. There's something I want to say. I don't think time will let me actually do that anymore. But I'm just going to kind of, wrap it up in a way with this question, okay? Somebody just shown me that although from November, there has been fuel scarcity, increase in the price of it, even though your government budgeted trillions of naira for subsidy last year, this year, but you have been buying it at ridiculous prices. That is if you've ever seen it at all. And they said that if you are watching this video, your worry is over, okay? If you have not been able to get a fuel in any part of Nigeria all this while, for the past 3 months, or for some of you are already buying it at very ridiculous prices, in the next few days, you are going to start seeing the APC, filling stations all over Nigeria, where you can actually pick up a liter of petrol for just 40 naira per liter. And the direct address is, Bodilon Road. I don't know the exact number, but if you go to Bodilon Road, I see you are looking for Shiwaju's filling station or house. It's inside the house. That will be the headquarters, and you can get all the information you need from there. Now, talking about the obedient earlier, there is something I actually want to say before I, wrap it up. I'm not going to be taking calls tonight, but yeah, I'll take calls some other times, okay? However, there's something I want you all to know tonight, okay? Especially many of us, you know why I'm using us is because, not because I actually belong to that category of those who underrated them. I was one of those who said, right, they are the perfect karma, and I pray they can sustain the momentum, and they have actually surpassed my own expectation as well, okay? And let me tell you something. When you see the obedience, no matter what you have, no matter how you try to see them, I am advising you right now that it is not too late. It's not too late for you, right, to change your mind of what you are underrating. I'm not saying you should support them. Oh, that's your own business. Oh, that's yours. Oh, I am just saying that it is not too late now to begin to change your mind from thinking they are nothing, just irritant, just this or that, abusive, and all of those things you are saying. You are the people who made them popular. You are the people who brought Obi to become the problems that you are facing today. Number one, right before our eyes, APC, Egbekegbe, destroyed Nigeria, and they are blaming someone else for it. And this is the first time in my life that I'm actually going to witness shamelessness and shameless people who have no shame, but they have so much confidence. This is the first time in my life. I have never seen anything like this before. And I'm going to tell you what I mean. Right before our eyes, in the last 8 months, I don't think there is anything they haven't blamed Peter Obi for. They have said that saving money is actually a crime. It's not a big thing. Saving money in 8 months, we got to know that is actually not the right thing. And therefore, anybody that saves money in public office, doesn't mean that it meant to ever is a crime. They couldn't tell us that those who stole money and they have been stealing it, that's actually unacceptable as well. 8 months, una spend so much energy because an Igbo man saying won't be president of Nigeria. That's his only sin. People that have been seeing Obi's video for years And some of them are saying that this is the kind of person that should be president in Nigeria. Soludo should be somebody to be president in Nigeria. Febe, what's that my name? What's that guy name? That guy from the African Development Bank. Additional, your former Minister of Agriculture. I forgot his name. Something Shakin will be additional. That's the kind of person that should be the president. The day Obi said they want to be president, they reminded all of us that he's an Igbo man. And the Igbos, listen to this, the Igbos, they killed our leaders in 1966. And the Northern Nigeria will never forget. Northern Nigeria will never forget to, kill you there. Shami Oloribu or there, illiterate. Soldiers, who are like, getting their inspiration from the ongoing world revolution at the time, decided to stage a coup in Nigeria in their way of dealing with who they suspected as corrupt politicians. Then they killed these politicians, and that led to the reprisal, the revenge coup of the same 1966. They kill our leaders. We will never forget Orieti Daru. Because Obi want to be president or saying won't be president of Nigeria. Now, the Northern Nigeria will never forget. Did they tell you that in 1945, just when they started all this program against one another, even before Nigeria's independence, over 40,000 Igbos were slaughtered in Northern Nigeria, same way of thinking, they are trying to dominate them. In between 1954 and 1957, over 300,000 Igbos were slaughtered in the same up north. No joke, your history, they have a reason for wiping away your history. Yeah, there's a reason for it. Because if you think about it, you will realize that the people that should be saying we will never forget, they should be the Igbos. In 1966, when these soldiers, when they killed Tafawa Balewa, killed the Igbo leaders, killed the Yoruba leaders, they said the Northerners, they lost most. Because the Northerners lost most in that coup, their leaders, so they blamed the Igbos for it. 6 months after that, the program started. More than 400,000 Igbos were slaughtered. In a thing that later led to, they have to return all the Igbos to Eastern Nigeria. And that's not all. Igbo soldiers were slaughtered in their barracks. Igbo senior military officers were slaughtered in their barracks. Igbo politicians and policemen, all of them were slaughtered across Nigeria. They didn't stop at that. A year after that, they started what they call the Civil War. 5 million Igbos were slaughtered in a space of 3 years. But they are not the one coming to say, we will never forget. We will never forget what you did to us. But now we're lunatics. Because of the Cold War that your criminal leaders put in your mind. An Igbo man saying won't be president. Suddenly, the North will never forget. The North will never forget. It's Nigeria. We enjoy it. Mayegun, an Igbo man, they will never make. I know. I'm not arguing it. What I'm actually against is that same you who believe that an Igbo man should not be your president in Nigeria, same you is saying that Nigeria is one country. The people that should be saying that they will never forget what Nigeria did to them. And they are supposed to be the Igbos. They are those who have lost most in this fraudulent Nigeria, just to keep it together. But poor history, poor education, ignorance, and your tribalism and other things that they have fed you with all your lives. An Igbo man saying won't be president. Show, day. How can he's going to break Nigeria? Is this Igbo people? Did they not say they wanted Biafra? How come they want to be president again? All of that is just to expose your frauderia. And I'm here to tell you, sure you get me now. Because if not, Baba, if not, Ejeka was sincere now. Let's be sincere. Look at these facts. Tinubu is a Yoruba man. Obi is an Igbo man. Abi, two of them say they want to save Nigeria. They can't present you their certificates based on their past antecedent and all of that. Entitled criminals want to fix your future. Baba, take a look at this one. This is Tinubu's record. The real record that he won't show you. He was governor for 8 years. Like other people who became governors. Sure you get. Governor. Now, after that 8 years, this is Tinubu's entitlement as a former governor in Nigeria. 300% annual salary as a severance package, as approved by their Abuja. 100% of the annual basic salary of incumbent governor. He will collect the same salary as governor. Any governor in Lagos State, whatever salary any governor is collecting, he will collect the same salary as his pension, right? For life. Now, is entitled to 6 new cars every 3 years. A new house in Lagos, minimum of 5 bedroom. A new house in Abuja or any other location, minimum of 5 bedroom. Free medical care for him and his family members for life. Entitled to cook, stewards, gardeners, and domestic staff, all pensionable. They will collect salary, they will collect pension just for serving Tinubu for life. All of this, they are the entitlement put in place by Tinubu and the model that so many governors in Nigeria and so many states in Nigeria adopted, and they are now paying their former governors, draining the resources to feed the criminals that made you poor every day. But now look at this guy. This is Obi. Like I said, facts are sacred, but they are facts. They don't change. He also was governor of a state for 8 years, like Tinubu, right? He didn't plunge a state into debt. For that 8 years that he was governor, there was no single debt in that state. He is not owing any gratuity. He is not owing any pension, right? Now, he didn't owe any pension. He didn't owe any salary. He didn't owe any contractor. The state was not in debt. Now, when he handed over, like Tinubu, he is entitled to nothing. He doesn't get paid any gratuity. He doesn't get paid any pensions. He's not entitled to any house. He doesn't get any car. No allowance of any kind. No maintenance of any kind. No personal assistant paid by Anambra. No domestic staff paid by the state. No aids or anything. Do you get that now? So, boy, he's an Igbo man. And the only thing they can tell you is that saving money for the future generation in his own small states that he knows, right? Probably they are not as rich as others who have access to this free money. He knows that. He never asked for anything. But guess what? This man is a better product to a young person that is a graduate, right? But unable to find any job. To businessmen who have shut down because the economy is never going to help them. Now, he is a good man because he made other billionaire thieves who live off the people for the rest of their lives. But you know, this one, you have to be very careful of this one. These are the things you did for 8 months. These are the things, these are the facts. These are the things you were floating and flunging. And when people were asking any question, they will call them Omoyele. Are you not a Yoruba man? Why are you asking all these questions? Are you not supposed to support a Yoruba man like yourself? Support a thief. You are now going to turn around and become prayer warriors, praying for the success of your children, who you are sending to school. You are just sending them to school. With the likes of Tinubu, your children are better off as Agberos in that Nigeria. So they started playing all this tribal card, religious card, all different cards. You were watching them. Now today, it seems all of that now. Be like saying that the obedient, they use all these stones. They can't use them build steps. Now, what people are now saying is that even if he's going to get 5 million votes, he cannot win more than 5 states. He cannot win more than 7 states. Have you forgotten that there are just 4 people tweeting in a room? That is exactly where I'm coming to now. Let me tell you something. Majority of you have these biases, and I will explain that to you. You see, obedient. Me, I was very clear. Maybe because I am Mayegun, and I understand my audience very well. My audience cut across all part of the society. Nigeria, outside Nigeria, non-Nigerians. That's what my platform. That's what it does. Everybody comes in here, and somehow, if it is your turn or the turn of where you come from, you're going to get a very much clean, clear, unbiased analysis that will actually help you, possibly to even understand other people too. That's who I am. I am not a rigid person. I am not one eye blind person that says, no, no. I am a teacher. And as a teacher, I may have my own conviction. At the same time, I must also do my best to understand other people's conviction. The only people that their conviction never moved me because it's fraud are the people supporting the establishment in Nigeria, supporting the PDP, supporting the APC, supporting the establishment and what they have done. I won't pretend about that. If you are one of them, you actually have no place anywhere near me because you are fraud, you are hypocrite, and you cannot be trusted. Calling yourself one Nigerian, in that aspect, you are a fraud. You can't defend those who actually brought us here. But I have learned something to understand the conviction of everybody. When I see APC, Egbekegbe person, or anybody defending APC, Egbekegbe, I understand why. I have an idea. Maybe not total. I do have an idea from experience. When I see people, young or old, defending Atiku or PDP here, I have an idea why. Do you understand? Same thing. I spent my time to understand the real thing behind the obedience, and I never shy away from the truth. It's the same focus, laser focus, what have you, that I paid to the revolution now in the dark old days. It's also the same thing, the same laser focused attention to detail to get to understand something. Why are these people doing what they are doing? What is their conviction of yours that you disagree with this rotten establishment and you have chosen the path you have chosen to say, I am not going to be part of this nonsense. We are going to do revolution. That's what I did when I studied the Biafrans, the IPOB. When everybody was like, are you mad? Why are you trying to? I said, no, I will raise money for them if I have to. Because whatever they are doing is so legitimate that if all of you are educated enough and you know better, you should be doing what they are doing. Because why? The same marginalization that pushed them to that stage is the same thing all of us are suffering. But we choose to love our oppressors differently. That's what I did. Talking about conviction and respecting conviction. I respect Buhari idiots and their conviction. And that is why when I mention them and they pop up somewhere and they start abusing me, I'm just like, yeah, I see. I can cite you. I know you are here. I just wanted to know if you are here. Now I've mentioned you now. You have abused me now. I know you are here. When I mention the articulators and other hypocrites on this platform as well, and the genuine people who have actually seen through the whole charade, this is me trying to touch base on this, this temple, where a lot of people have become almost one for one reason only, because Nigeria is not for any of us. So therefore, people started choosing what they think is going to be the way out. I respect all of that. And that's why I respect the obedience too. Respect the IPOB. Respect the revolution now. Respect everyone. Because to me, people are choosing their battle and conviction. Whether they're going to triumph, whether they're not going to triumph, whether they are supposed to come together. But that's a different ball game. You have to respect people's conviction before you can then say, why did you do it this way? Maybe it's just me, But I will tell you this. When the Biafrans are convinced that Nigeria is not for them and they want to leave, right? Some of you who don't believe in that separation, you attack them. You enjoy attacking them, abusing them. Because to you, that's a rubbish conviction. Let us all come together and work together and build a country. You and who? You don't respect that. When the people asked and said, we want Yoruba nation, because we don't believe in this charade, some of you, one Nigerianists, you don't believe them. You want them crushed. You want them brushed. You want them buried. Because what? You believe in yours that says, no, we have to do election to push these people out. Lack of respect for everybody's conviction that are fighting the same enemy, the same establishment that actually prompted all of this, is one of the reasons why a lot of you don't actually know that your conviction is legit. At the end of the day, everybody should know one thing. nobody, no group, no one has the monopoly of the solution out of this log jam, but the conglomeration of all these forces at some point can align all together one day when they realize that they have one common enemy that made all of you anti-Nigeria establishment or Nigeria entirely. Now, respecting that means when you see the obedient that are convinced that they could use election to defeat the establishment, you don't believe that. I don't believe too. But that's their conviction. If they push it, and the establishment misbehave enough that they started acting wrongly because they have been pushed out of their space, that could be what all of you need to finally understand that you have a common enemy. And until this enemy is completely crushed, all your aspirations are going to be facing the same thing: violence from the people that push you there. Don't forget that. And that's what I was trying to say yesterday when I said, if the obedient believe in this, you don't. All you have to do is to let the time play itself out. Do not deny that this is happening, even if you don't believe in it. Denying it just makes you almost the same category of people who are saying, nobody can stop the establishment. And that is why they believe more in people destroying people and the APC. But you and I know this group of criminals are the reasons why you have all you have today. Do not deny it. I'm just trying to help you to come to that term that whatever you believe in is valid, is legit. Just same way with other people too. You have to respect that, even if you don't believe it's going to work. Because at the end of the day, they are doing something. IPOB is doing something. The Yoruba nations are doing something. A lot of people are doing something. But ask yourself, why is everybody doing all of this to get out of this whole thing? Why? Nigeria, the injustice, the unfairness, the inequality, the impunity, the corruption, and above all, the state-sponsored profiling, genocide. People are seeing things. Obi will rake all those things because even those who pushed us here, they are still insensitive. They don't care. You know they don't. Which means the term of if you found yourself in a pit, all you have to do is to stop digging. Stop digging and stop lying. Whatever you are seeing right now with social media, they are happening. And it's going to get so serious with what I'm witnessing, what I'm seeing so far. It's going to get so serious that before the middle of February, Baba, a lot of you will either so worry that disobedient may actually like pull the stunt. Not just the stunt, they may actually whip the floor with this APC and PDP. And the signs are there. And the reason why it is actually happening is because those who destroyed Nigeria, they are not taking responsibility. Imagine APC spending their money and time to tell you that Obi is not doing everything to keep Eastern Nigeria safe. Is Obi your police IG? Is Obi your chief of army staff? Is Obi your president? Obi didn't improve. It didn't give employment to Anambra people. That's why they are flocking to Lagos. They spent 8 months to sell Obi, thinking they are condemning him. Look at it today. I'm just here to tell you that even if you are living in that denial, fine. But show some respect. Because you see what they are doing is as legit as what you are doing. If you say, we need a revolution, election cannot do it. See, I agree with you. But some of us who said the election cannot do anything, we are not just saying election cannot do it. We have shown it. We have shown the process. that with this process, forget about any credible election. But they want to go ahead and do it. For years. Some of us told them why this is not going to work. But guess what? When this will be 8 months ago, told them to go and pick up a voter's card, 28 million of them pick up voter's card in 3 months, Baba, or register to pick up voter's card in 3 months. Don't pretend that this is not happening. And the only thing we made me out to take out of the whole thing is that at the end of the day, may they just underrate them, underrate here, revolution now, IPOB, Yoruba Nation, and so many other disgruntled groups that says they are done with Nigeria. May they just stop and with disobedient own. That's my prayer. So that we can then try and check out something. The number is real. At the palace of, I can't remember the name, Agoro or something of Kafanchan, before Obi's arrival, somebody recorded this. And the guy was on, he's captured social media. Forget about it. When it comes to the young people in Nigeria, he controls them now. Now, this is a fact. And you don't have to take it or believe it. He is the hottest. He is the leading one. And he is causing so much trouble within the system that those who have perfected all their plans about this 2023, they have been pushed back to start go and re-strategizing, trying to figure something out. This has never happened before, at least not in my own lifetime. So the only thing that could come out of this whole thing at the end of the day is actually that revolution, the part 2 that some of you subscribe to. That's the moment. And I'm saying this to you, right? Because if eventually the establishment do what they think they can do, it's not going to be easy. A lot of you want revolution, Abi, and you don't like the obedience as what they are right now, Abi, because it's just that they are trying to, whatever you think. Me, I am seeing the ingredients that a lot of you are going to be part of them later to now say, yeah, finally revolution. The establishment is not going to remain the same. You can take that to the bank. And I guess they know. Esprit de corps, they call it. Bunch of old relic. So Obi was on a program called the AY show. You know AY comedian? He did a show for him where Obi was answering questions from all over the place. This is now beyond the mainstream media, okay? A situation whereby social media and internet could connect all the people together in a stroke. Baba, you won't believe this, so you should. This is social media. This is social media age. Within 24 hours on all platforms, right? More than 200 million people viewed that video. Nigeria and abroad. More than 200 million people. Nobody has ever pulled that crowd, ever, in Nigeria, wherever, anything that goes on in Nigeria. Nobody, no individual has ever pulled that. And in his closing remark, when he was talking to them in that open conversation, he had this to say before I round up tonight.
Is not a problem. Atiku remains a respected senior brother for the rest of my life. Even if my senior brother has his own fault or anything, he remains my senior brother. And I always respect him because God allowed him to be my senior brother. And I respect that. What I said is that in this business of politics, that I passed through his name. If you are apprentice in what we call Igbo type of trading, you learn from too many people who have grouped you up, and when all of them goes, they settle you. You start the same trade and everything. You might not necessarily sell the way they are selling their own. You might be selling differently, you know. So that is where to go. I passed through his hand. I learned things from him. I respect him. I have so many things, and he will remain so. There's one or two other people who I passed through their hand. I learn what they're doing. All combined, I'm selling my own, in my own style. I don't question how they're selling their own. But I remain respectful of their own distance. We're all looking for customers. It depends on who the customer wants to buy. If you want to buy obedience, here I am to sell it to you. If you want to buy Atiku, he sells it to you. You want to buy a Millicom, he sells it to you. So we have our product with their names clearly spelled. Whichever one you want to buy, it's it. I'm selling my own.
Now market, you know, is a trader. A marketer, they sell your own. I sell my own. I am just Mayegu and then the referee in the temple of truth to tell you the truth, even if it is very tough. Just know it. You know what I mean? It does help. I can assure you of that. So that's where I'm going to actually draw the curtains. Okay. Tonight, tomorrow is going to be another day. You know that. And then, yeah, God willing, I'm going to be here to also give you an update as usual. It's just I'm not taking calls. However, this is one information that I think you will need as well. Okay. The new Naira note is out, I've been told, and a lot of people are now getting access to it. Some of them have been wrongly printed. There was actually a copy of that. See, let me tell you something, right? If you come across a note, Nigeria Naira note, that looks like this, right? Do not panic. All you have to do is to take it back to the bank, the same bank. So it does happen, all right? It's just that it's not a right time. It's not the right time for this to be happening. After all of the drama that followed the repainted Naira, okay? So if you see anything like this, it is still legal. And what I believe about monetary policies, right? It is still money, okay? Don't go and use your scissors to trim it, especially that 1,000 naira. Don't go and use your scissors to trim, Just take it back to any of your bank and they will give you a new one. It's not fake. I just thought I should tell you that for the sake of those who have been seeing that money. And in case if you come across it, okay? Like I said, it's the wrong time where everybody will just take a banter at it, okay? But nevertheless, it does happen. I'm in that, don't worry yourself. All you have to do is that just go on to Google, all right, and check the money, printed money with error or with a mistake or anything like that. Just search for that on Google. You'll be surprised at how many kind of currency all over the world, including dollars and pound sterling. They have been, my was, I should have saved some, I don't have much time right now to start going to look for that. But again, you can do it too. Search on the internet, and then you'll be able to deal with that. One more thing before I go. You remember the last time when we had the audio recorded by the Arabinrin, the wife of the Ondo State Governor, Akeredolu, which is called Arakunrin. And it was about a woman, a lady, who happened to be a member of APC, Egbekegbe, in a particular local government area she mentioned, and that she was bringing concussion for her husband, Akeredolu, because Akeredolu is sick. You remember that? Of course you should. Don't make me pretend like you didn't know that time. Yeah, the First Lady of Ondo State accused the woman of trying to take over her husband or trying to use to leverage on her husband's ailment or sickness, right? To enter him and then for him to make her the First Lady of Ondo State. That you, First Lady. Okay. Anyway, I saw the picture of Akeredolu, my brothers and sisters. if you are very good in, I mean, they say they are already spending money on good medical facilities, blah, 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 medical treatment abroad and all of that. When I saw a picture of Akeredolu, Baba, I fear. And there's no way, as a Yoruba man myself, or as a human being, I will see this and I will not feel for him. Do you get that now? When I saw this image, he's been very much missing in public for a while. This image was taken on the day Kolu went to Akure to campaign. Here you get. So we don't know what is wrong with him. Some have been saying so many things is wrong with him, Akeredolu. But whatever it is, right? This is scary. And I really wish him a quick or a recovery in a way. Because I mean, I don't really wish anybody bad though. As much as I talk about Tinubu all the time, right? I don't hate him. All your politicians in Nigeria and all the madness they are doing, as evil as they are, I don't hate them. I don't like them. Okay? The opposite of like is dislike. You know that. It's not hate. Hate is the opposite of love. So if you love, you know, love is a very strong word. If you love, and you mean it, that you love somebody or you love something, it means a lot, yeah? That's exactly the same tone that hate carries. These guys, I talk about them all the time because of their roles, because of my own knowledge about politics, as well as policies, as well as politicians and the people. I understand the impact of having wronged people, overseeing your own life, even when you are actually yet to be here. Generations yet unborn are going to meet all of this mess, even though if they didn't choose to be part of Nigeria. The roles these guys are playing, and every day, and how much or what consequences all these roles actually brings, is the reason why I talk about them all the time. Yes, there are roles in the national politics, there are roles in the regional politics, there are roles in the international politics, all of this, and their names. How did they affect us? How have they affected me? Simply because I am from Nigeria. That's why I talk about them. I don't hate people. Now, some of you, they talk, say you hate me. Some of you don't even understand the word hate. I hate this Mayegun. You hating me because of Tinubu? You have no idea. You may not like me, which is all right. I don't like this Mayegun. I mean, that's fear. I hate this Mayegun. Why? What have I done to you? Nothing. It's because you are just stupid and ignorant. Somebody said, Mayegun, you don't need to be vulgar when you talk to Baba Koshidanu. I know my people. My people know me. And when I talk about the lunatics, the wearies, they come here to kind of try to twist things because of their love for these criminal politicians. When I'm talking to them, I want to be I'm not talking to them. So don't come here and give me one useless advice as if to say I requested for one. I told you I know my audience. The Alawokus, the wearies, the humble slaves, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morals, and the rest of them from the clans of the side barbarians, the Buhari idiots generally. I know them. They are here. They can't go anywhere. They are always going to be here. So when I'm addressing them, I don't cut out what I say. So when I go on that tirade, it's just to let you know that when I speak about these criminals, I'm speaking about their activities, their actions, their inactions, their all things they do that ended up having to affect millions of people that don't really give a damn about. Many of these millions of people are our own family members, friends, neighbors, and the rest. So I'll leave you to that. And then I wish Akeredolu a quick recovery. And we also wish these two a safe journey to the world beyond. Hopefully, the obedience can actually bury them. You see, I will celebrate you. Obedience, okay? If you bury these two wearies, these two old relics, these two old greedy criminals, if you bury them as they are on their way to the mountain of the dead, follow them, push them, and leave them there. I will celebrate you here. It's going to be an open of a new era. And when we get to that bridge, all of us that want to leave Nigeria, when we get to that bridge, right, we'll deal with it. But you see these relics, they will ruin and destroy whatever you are seeing right now, even worse than it, which is also good. But it's going to be violent. It's going to be bloody. If you can just use a forklift, carry them, drop them inside those mountain of the dead. A lot of children, unborn, born and unborn, are never going to forget you. I'm not underrating you, obedient to. If you wake up tomorrow, may I say something will go make you mad? Listen to me. I have been with madder people. Do you think anybody that is supporting APC, normal? In your own mind? Do you really think anybody is supporting APC? Now, normal people. Mad people, correctly, mad, original mad people. Suffer head. If they are killing them, they will say, it's the fault of the weather. It's not Bokuwari. Mad people. Guys, I've been dealing with these guys for years. Simply because I will always say what I think is right. And over time, I have done that so very much, very well. Seriously. For straight 10 years. So obedient, you are the karma that the Bible talked about. Don't ask me the verse or chapter. I'm just telling you, you are that karma. So if you can take these two to the mountain of the dead and never to return, you have made history, and I will celebrate you too. Sure you get. Thank you very much for your time. I'm going to see you some other time. However, to all my donors and those who have come to our aid, putting resources together to reach out to 6,000 school children in Yoruba land, which is going to start in another 2-3 weeks. So I am very grateful to you. To everybody who is still willing to reach out to us, to support us, to help us. Every penny you put towards this is going to go straight into the hands of those who are going to make this happen. And trust me, you'll be so proud when you begin to see the result as well. Play your role. I'm playing mine. I'm going to see you some other time, okay? Enjoy the evening. And you should all have a wonderful night rest. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn àjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà gbówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Ayé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.